Yeah, so this valley isn't only called Gehenna in scripture. We have another name for it. We see this name Tophet or Topheth invoked. So would you read Isaiah 30, 31 through 33?
For sure. For at the voice of the Lord, Assyria will be terrified when he strikes with the rod. Every blow of the rod of punishment which the Lord will lay on him will be with the music of tambourines and lyres. In the battles, brandishing weapons, he will fight them. For Tophet has long been ready indeed. It has been prepared for the king. He has made it deep and large, a pyre of fire with plenty of wood. The breath of the Lord, like a torrent of brimstone, sets it afire.
Okay. Who is that Assyria, Sean? Have we talked about him before?
We have Assyria, and some translations will say the Assyrian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is the king of Assyria, the king
That's
of
right.
Babylon, even. That
That's
is
right.
Nimrod, the first beast of Revelation. If you haven't checked
Yes.
that out,
The
we went over
return
that.
of Apollyon.
That's right. We've talked about him in episode 1, The Beast of the Pit, and just recently again on Beast Wars, our episode of Uncommon Ground. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, Tophet, and even in like the World History Encyclopedia, worldhistory.org, it talks about Tophet was a sacred precinct usually located outside of cities where sacrifices and burials were made, especially of young children, they say. In
Mm-hmm.
rituals of the Phoenician and then the Carthaginian religion, one of the rituals of the Phoenician religion was to sacrifice humans, especially children. According to ancient sources, the victims were killed by fire. And man, do you remember how we've heard and we've read that when the punishment or when the sacrifice of the child was happening, they would play loud drums and loud music to
Yeah.
drown out the screams and the cries? I think it's fascinating that the father's talking about how when he punishes the Assyrian, it will be with the sound of tambourines and lyres.
The devil could be have encouraged mankind to do that as a perverted version of this.
Yeah, could be.
And the only reason I would make that statement, because I know that that type of child sacrifice was around long before Isaiah wrote these words in prophecy, but um, is because we don't have the full writings of Enoch. We
Right.
have a collection, an amalgamation of scrolls that are
Mm-hmm.
impartial. They're not the full writings. So we have no clue the fullness of what was shared with Enoch. Supposedly he wrote lots of stuff, and just what has remained. We see all types of symbolism that probably you got some verses probably in these slides tonight that we'll be reading from him. So um, to me, that means that the angel Azazel, the rebellious one, knew what those things were as well. And I can only imagine the being consistent with the nature of evil is to mock the things of the Father against mankind.
It's so true. We see it very often.
Yeah.
It's a frequent practice of them. So here's the Strong's definition of that word Topheth. It's a Strong's Hebrew 8613. The literal meaning of the word just breaks down to a place of fire or a place of burning. But then the definition goes on to say a place in the southeast end of the valley of the son of Hinnom, south of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
So they identify it as a specific area or court inside of this valley of Gehenna, where those practices would take place.
That's right. Yeah, the Oxford languages here kind of break down Tov a little further. It's a term for hell. It's
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they say, right? Middle English translation also calls it Tophet, but it's name of the place, the Valley Hinnom near Jerusalem, used for idolatrous worship, including the sacrifice of children. Not only the Isaiah passages, but Jeremiah 19:6, and later for burning refuse.
Refuse like trash and garbage. Huh?
That's right. Yeah.
The Gehenna Valley would also be used they would dump dead bodies of people who couldn't afford to be buried and properly taken care of, or had nobody to love them enough to do so, or trash and garbage heap would just be burning and smoldering in this area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the father's going to dump the trash off in it too.
He is.
So the definitions are just replete and consistent. It seems like when it comes to these, the different institutions recognize the practices that would go on there. 2 Kings 23:10 also talks about King Josiah, who was a righteous king, came along and he defiled Topheth, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, that no man might make his son or daughter pass through the fire for Molech anymore. He was trying to put a stop to that, taking down the idols.
Mm-hmm.
And defiling Topheth, it says.
Good
Another
on him.
mention of that. Yeah.
Is he wearing a seashell on top of his head? What
I
am I
don't
looking at
know.
here? But
It's
yeah,
hard
that's,
to find good art
no,
sometimes.
I hear you, man. I was just like, what am I looking at? But yeah, that's this like Josiah, like he really destroyed all the high places and all the places of worship to Baal and Molech across. Well, not all of them, but 99% of them. He tried to do a complete reformation and bring people back to worshiping Yahweh in a good way. And
Proper way,
it's
right?
just, yeah, this was a big deal in his day.
Yes, sir. What Jeremiah 7:30-32. Would you read it?
For the sons of Judah have done that which is evil in my sight, declares the Lord. They have set their detestable things in the house which is called by my name, to defile it. They have built the high places of Tophet, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I did not command, and it did not come into my mind. Therefore, behold, days are coming, declares the Lord, when it will no longer be called Tophet, or the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of the slaughter. For they will bury in Tophet, because there is no other place.
Okay, so we see another connection telling us directly that this Tophet is inside the valley of the son of Hinnom, Gehenna. And then another thing that comes to mind is I remember somebody asking me a question not long ago about this passage when I was posting it during the when I was mirroring your investigating Babylon series. Somebody asked me, how did it not even come into the mind of the Father that they would do this? It seems weird that it would say that, because the Father's like, he knows the future, he knows the end from the beginning. And I would just put forward that what it's trying to say is that it didn't enter his mind to tell them to do these kind of things. It wasn't
Right.
part of his plan for his people to burn their sons and daughters in the fire.
Right.
Wouldn't you? Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for whatever reason, people try to come up with all kinds of wild ways to take this verse and twist it around. It baffles me. It's always baffled me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just read the whole passage. Just 3 verses. Just read all 3 verses. It's very obvious. He's reprimanding them for their idolatrous worship and how they committed murder doing so.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this passage?
No, it's just heartbreaking.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
But there will be justice.